So I have a map that shouldn't exist, and I think today I'm gonna go check it out. This is a map of where Gasparilla the pirate's brother was allegedly buried. And though I don't know where this map came from, and it's got things that shouldn't be there, I know exactly where this spot is, so I'm gonna go find it and see what I can see at this spot. While I'm on the way, I think I'll tell you a little bit about the legend of Gasparilla. Legend has it that Gasparilla the pirate preferred the west coast of Florida, so he eventually made his home in the area that I live in today, near Charlotte Harbor. And Gasparilla Island was supposedly his home base, and that's why still to this day everybody thinks that the island was named after the pirate. He was also in charge of Captiva Island and Usepa Island, and basically just controlled the harbor in this area around here. These areas around Florida were really easy for pirates to use. They were able to hide their ships and just kind of wait for different merchant ships to pass by, and then they could kind of just swing around and capture them as they were going down the trade routes. According to the story, the pirate Gaspar was actually the Admiral Jose Gaspar, who was part of the Spanish Navy. He ended up taking over the Florida Blanca Spanish warship in 1783 and made his escape to becoming a pirate. In the time that Gasparilla was a pirate, he supposedly sank 36 ships in only 11 years. Legend goes that in 1821, Jose Gaspar was getting ready to retire. And Jose Gaspar and sailors were getting ready to split up all the proceeds that they had captured in the 11 years that they had been together. But unfortunately, when they were getting ready to divvy up the booty, Gasparilla's crew saw a ship, and they thought it would be a good last one, you know? Just get that last ship, they thought. So when he finally got over there and started fighting with them, they realized this was actually a U.S. Navy warship. It was commanded by, supposedly, Commodore David Porter, which he was specifically there to eradicate piracy in Florida in the 1820s, because yes, there were pirates in Florida, and piracy was an issue in this area. But unfortunately for Gaspar and his crew, they were easily fooled and dispatched. Most of the crew was killed, but a few lucky sailors were able to escape, then swam to shore to some nearby islands. Obvious reasons, Gasparilla did not want to be captured. He knew he would be killed, and that there was no way for him to get out of this alive. So instead of letting the Commodore take his life, he decided to take his own by dramatically wrapping the anchor chain around his body and jumping into the water, and causing his own drowning. Now I know tons of researchers have went over to Spain, and they've spent a lot of time trying to dig up actual evidence of Gasparilla, but there is none. There's no records of his name in Spanish archives, and there's really nothing substantial to prove that he existed. Now, my whole life, I've lived in this area, and I've heard these stories, and I've heard all these things about pirates in this area. And what I can't figure out is, a couple of days ago, I came across this map from someone, a local treasure hunter. I don't know where it came from, and he don't know where it came from. It just kind of showed up. On this map, it literally says, Number 3, where the skeleton of Gasparilla's brother was dug up by Parker. And I don't know who Parker is, but I do know who Gasparilla is. And I'm just wondering why this exists. Now, spot I'm coming up to, this is the location. And unfortunately, as I was coming up here, I noticed tons of no trespassing signs, and it's a construction site. So unfortunately, I was not able to get on the island. But what I can tell you is that it looks like a great spot for some pirates. You know, all versions of the Gasparilla legend claim that he and his crew constructed a regal home base on an island, with some specifying that it consisted of over a dozen buildings, plus a tall watchtower perched atop an ancient Indian mound filled with golden bones. However, no trace of this pirate kingdom has ever been uncovered, and although this island here has no ancient Indian mound, it does have a map that shows that Gasparilla's brother was buried here, and I'd love to figure out why that map exists. But I also have an idea of the mound that they're talking about that's full of gold. The pirate island they're talking about is called Mounds, and it's a little bit north of here, and it's an island that's actually made by Indians. It's giant hills and mounds, and a lot of people have went to that island disturbing it. You're not allowed to dig on it. It's an archaeological site, but I think in the future I'm going to visit it, and maybe I can find something that will prove that Gasparilla actually existed. The first thing I noticed when I pulled up here was there is a ton of pelicans, and they look like they're just having a blast. And I honestly think that these pelicans are the descendants of pelicans that were around when the pirates were here. Whether that was Gasparilla or not, you'll never know. You know, they say it doesn't exist, but I can't understand why I have a map. And I have this sword that came from an area kind of near Gasparilla's house. And, you know, it may or may not be his or someone that he knows, but it's found in the area. And I can't tell you where it came from, can't tell you anything like that. But we've been trying to have it looked at for a very long time. It's about 21 inches long. It's not a cut down sword, but it's a sword that, you know, possibly be proof of Gasparilla's existence. Nothing's been found like it in the area. We have all sorts of stuff that we've found over the years in this area. And like I said, this area was known for pirates.
Alright, so today I'm going to try to get to Big Mound Key, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get there or not, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's about 4.2 nautical miles away, and I'm going to take my dinghy and some gas and just hope that I can get on the island, because it's sketchy or not whether I'll be able to get on there. The hurricane probably messed up the little there's like a board pathway to get on there, and it's in the bushes, so it's gonna be high tide at 2 o'clock, which is a couple hours away, and I'm hoping that it's perfect for me to get in and get out. Should take an hour to get over there, so let's go.
The Calusa Indians developed a powerful and complex society that flourished for more than 1,000 years in southwest Florida. It only took treasure hunters with 2 bulldozers and a backhoe just a few days in 1980 to demolish Big Mound Key, one of the tribe's largest and best preserved sites. In July of 1992, a team of what authorities described as very well organized and not amateurs descended upon Mound Key in search of Spanish gold. The team looted sites on state and federal land for more than a decade, and investigators said tearing through layers of Indian artifacts in a fruitless search for Spanish gold. In 1992, they were charged with damaging 7 archaeological sites in Florida's west coast. One of those sites is the site I'm going to now. The men began searching for that treasure more than 3 decades ago. In 1980, they drove bulldozers across the protected mangroves in the state preserve to get to Big Mound Key, one of the state's most important archaeological sites. They carved a gash 20 feet wide, 25 feet deep, and about 200 feet long in the largest and most significant of the mounds. The damage was discovered days later, but investigators had no clue who did it. This destruction at Big Mound Key and elsewhere throughout the next decade occurred in isolated sections of public land where digging could easily go undetected. Important clues to the Calusa civilization were destroyed by these treasure hunters. One thing I can certainly stress is that people have been digging at these old sites for years in search of Spanish gold, and they've destroyed an awful lot of information about these people. They were a remarkable bunch of people. The Calusas were expert navigators and built canals, some 30 feet wide and 6 feet deep, that connected their coastal homes to inland rivers. The skilled hunters and fishers thrived for decades after the tribes in North Florida had been destroyed by warfare, slavery, and diseases brought by European settlers. But by 1750, the Calusa tribe had disappeared, overrun by other American Indians who had moved into Florida to escape the settlers. The mounds are nearly all that remain to supplement the sketchy and biased reports left by the Spanish missionaries and explorers.
So we're pulling right down the alleyway. This is a secret canal. Most likely it's a hand-dug canal. Whether it was by pirates or Indians, we don't know. But this is very, really cool to go down here when you go down here. I'm hoping that I can get down here to get on this island, because I would hate to go all this way for nothing. There's definitely some weird stuff in the water around here. I mean, it looks like there's all sorts of like odd shaped things. Oh, it's back here. Okay, we're gonna go down this way. Here we go. See a lot of fish coming through here. Oh, there's a big redfish. Holy cow. Probably a great spot for fishing. So here we are in like a hidden little cove, a lagoon, you could call it. Down keys over here, there's a big gumbo limbo tree you can see the top of almost. But we're here, and I'm going to try to get on the island now. It would be hard to get on the island, but I'm going to give it a shot for the good of the channel. There's about a couple feet of water right here, and I'm either going to have to wade through there or climb through these trees. And then over there you can see, probably can't see it, but over there, there's a walkway, some boards you can walk on. So if I can just get to there, I'm good. But I have to get to there first, so. Let's see, I have to walk through the freaking water. Oh, this is not gonna be good. And what sucks here is it's not just water, it's water and silt. So you sink like a foot or two down. So I'm gonna have to try to get on this island somehow. We'll see how it happens. I just have to wade through that water, but it's okay. So we're now on the sticks and stuff that don't know who put them here, but they've been here for a while. So I made it on the island, and as you can see, when I first got here, look at all the shells. This is called a shell midden. These are very old shells. I'm gonna make my way up the island, and see what I can see. This is a gumbo limbo tree right here. The pit. That's a hole dug by somebody, I think. Alright, we're almost at the top of the mound. We're getting close at least. It's a lot of debris. I probably should have brought a machete. It's a big tree. A very old tree. And above me is a branch that could have just fallen on me, so let me get out of here. This is a pit right here. We're trying to get up to the edge of it. So, a long time ago, people came here. And that story goes is they had a bulldozer on the island. And they dug this pit looking for treasure. This is a massive, massive pit. And you can see how far down that goes. Let me throw something down there. Look. It's deep. It's really deep. And there's shells everywhere. I doubt they found anything. Or if they did, it's gone now. You go to the other side here of this shell midden to give you a better look. These shells could be thousands, if not thousands of tens of thousands of years old.
Big Mound Key is just off the mainland of the southern end of Cape Hayes, at the entrance to Charlotte Harbor. The archaeological site in Big Mound Key covers 13.5 acres and includes 4 20-foot tall mounds. The mounds and ridges consist primarily of conch shells. A radiocarbon date of about 2,000 years old has been obtained from near the base of the trenched mound. Most radiocarbon dates and ceramics that were found are from the Weeden Island culture period, about 400 to 900 years ago. The mound was the site of a village, possibly the seat of a large chiefdom, serving as an intermediate trade point between the Minnesota people of the Tampa Bay area and the Calusa people of the South. There's evidence that the chief lived at the top of one of the mounds.
So this is a shed from the archaeologists that were out here at one point. Must have blown up and stuff. I'm hoping they come back and do some excavations so we can find out what's really here. Just a pile of tools. Oil or something.
The Spanish explorers wrote in their journals that every time they encountered the Calusa Indians, that they would lose 6 Spanish soldiers. And when you think about that, that's a pretty interesting concept because first of all, Calusa Indians were way bigger than everybody else in the area, and the Spanish were quite a bit smaller than everybody in the area. And when the Spanish came off the ships, more than likely they were wearing metal helmets and some kind of metal breastplates. And they were basically armed. They had swords, they had rifles or muskets, they had gunpowder. In other words, the Calusa Indians had sticks and they had bones. They had darts, they had shark's teeth. That was pretty much the weaponry. But yet, this Spanish captain noted that he lost 6 people for every 1 Indian killed. So that tells us, number 1, that they were great fighters, and number 2, that a lot of them didn't fall or die as a result of encounters with the European explorers. Last known tribe of Calusa Indians left in about 1750. They said there was about 200 or 250 of them left, and possibly they just hopped on canoes and went to Cuba. But I think we all know what really happened. The biggest thing you have to remember when visiting these islands is to remain respectful of the property that you're walking on. This was the Indians' home, their burial ground, their fishing ground, their living quarters, and it's a very, very spooky place to go alone. So if you do go, make sure that you're not digging holes, and make sure that you're leaving the place as you left it. Yeah, you can knock down some spider webs and trees as you see I'm doing here, but that's about it. Don't go making holes in the Indian mounds looking for Spanish gold, or else you'll be ending up in the county jail just like the 4 people did back in the 1992.
That's a hole. Spider. We're out. Get the hell out of here. So I'm in a small cove right now, and it's a pretty interesting cove. It's obviously never been developed. As you can see, it's full of trees, and it is thick.
Could it be that there's gold in the trees?
They haven't been over here in a very long time. And from the looks of it, I see what I think is some gumbo limbo trees in there. Ooh, look at the fish, huh?
Could it be that the fish is trying to point me to where the gold is?
What a great place, huh? What is this?
Could this be evidence of gold? Could it be?
The oyster bed.
Could it also be that this oyster bed is covering up a shipwreck lost to time? Could it be that I found the oysters that were part of a shipwreck from the 1750s? Or could it be Templar oysters? Could this be the cove that the fish was splashing in, trying to show me where the gold was hidden in the trees? Could it be? Or could these be the trees that the fish was pointing me to, where the gold is at? Could they be the trees? As I scouted looking for other spots that gold could be, I saw this bridge. Could this bridge be a bridge that was here when the pirates were here? Did pirates use this bridge? Could it be? Actually, what I'm really looking for is a shipwreck. And I think there's one out here. So I'm scouting for it. I'm looking for basically anywhere it can be. It could be. Could be anywhere. It could be. Searching for old pirate shipwrecks has always been a hot topic in my family. The possibility to uncover hidden treasures worth millions, leftovers from pirates who roamed the seas hundreds of years ago, isn't as easy as I thought it would be. The process of finding these long-lost shipwrecks requires extensive research, expertise, and latest technology and tools, none of which I have. Regardless, I do have a lot of knowledge of this area, and I have researched probably as much as anybody has in this area of shipwrecks. There hasn't been a story that I haven't heard or that someone in my family hasn't heard. So, although I don't have the latest tools and technology, I do stand a pretty good chance of finding something. Because honestly, I feel like I'm the only one that's looking. And I'm gonna keep crossing things off my list of spots until I do find something. So, although we did find something today, the search continues.
It didn't turn out very well. Looks like I lost my sunglasses. Get stung by wasps. I'm gonna try for Camp Blue today. Maybe I can make it there in a few hours and make it back here by nightfall. It would be nice. Now I can pull these anchors. So I can get out of here. And everything I need, I got gas. I got some food. Ready to go. Camp Blue. Here we go. Blue, who's directly that way, and I'll be taking my little dinghy over here. Got some gas, got a backpack, a little supplies, and I'm gonna go find the pirate island. It is directly that way, about a mile. Well, I am here. I'm gonna find a place to tie this up. That's a piece of ballast stone right there. These are milestone as soon as I got here. I believe I think he's right here. So we're gonna take a walk, see what we can find around here. Looks like this could be a trail. Looks like not good enough. All I see is spiders. I can use this. So far, I haven't found anything. This is gonna be a lot harder than I thought. I think I can go further in right here, so I'm gonna try. There's a lot of spiders. So it's pretty much all like this, just thick overgrown. I wish I could find, you get over there, it's water. Let's see if I can find the person. Behind me's water, skeletons and crabs. Not much of anything. It's an old shell. So far, nothing. Oh my gosh. We'll walk into that face first. Back. I can't find much of nothing. So far, all I found is this old detective office. 1957. Pretty interesting beach here. A very interesting sign. Boundary, Lee County Parks Recreation County Preserve. Access restricted, designated entrance areas only. So I guess this is the entrance. I don't know how you get back there. Look at all these shells. These are old shells. This is like a shell midden. Probably Indian shell midden. And I'll look over here and see what we got going on this side. A lot of flies. You can hear them buzzing. It's actually kind of crazy that there's no pathway or nothing. Midden. These are some really old shells. They're busted open to eat, obviously. See that one was busted open? That was busted open to eat. Someone was here at one point in time. Nothing too interesting. It definitely is an area that is inhabited. And these shells do look quite old. But I really can't find anything out here. Other than shells that are a couple hundred years old. That's all I can find. And unless I'll be able to make it in shorts going traipsing through all that crap, but I'll never make it through that. So can you imagine 200 years ago, you might have washed up on this beach after being on a ship that sunk. Possibly it was in here, a storm came, and you were able to make it to the island, and then you're stuck here. I don't know if all the foliage is here, but sure there's a lot of shells and stuff. This is a shell I just found. Now, may not look like anything special, but that, to me, looks like something that Indian would make to carve. Especially with the spiral right here, it's not... I've found these before, and usually that's what they are. They're to dig out stuff. But I'm gonna leave it on the island. How would you even get water? Check out this cactus area I just found. I mean, some of these are huge. It's a cactus right there, boy. These are weird. Anybody know what those cactuses are? It looks like someone was making a trail back here at one point. Mosquitoes eating me alive right now. Anybody know what this type of plant is? Can't be moving. Look at these little things. Look at that. What's the thing, Pedro? Look at the one clock doing here. Alright, I'm out of here. I got stung in the neck by a wasp. I lost my pole, almost lost my GoPro. Ow. I'm out. Yeah, that thing hurt. I whacked a tree and I got hit right here in the neck somewhere. All those little things all in me. Got me good though. I can feel it in the neck there. Big old wasp. There's a tree back there I was trying to get to though. This GoPro fell off. This thing. Well, my pop's messed up. Turn out very well. Looks like I lost my sunglasses. I got stung by wasps. And now I'm paddling back to my boat because it seems like something's wrong with my prop. I can't believe I lost my sunglasses. Sucks. My sailboat's right over there. Like, can you get? It's the white. Can you take me to the sailboat by chance?
Yeah, it looks like you're not getting anywhere right now.
No, the paddles. Like I walked on the island. I got stung by wasps, and I jumped off, getting run by wasps, and I just pushed off, and my prop hit the ground or something, man. I appreciate it, dude. It's hard to see, but it's the white one right there. I didn't want to come all the way in here. Yeah, just to the left of it. It's, I think, 0.8 miles. I know, because I measured the distance before I came out here.
Too fast right now, whatever. I got something going on.
Do you?
If it's the bottom of my jack plate, there was a protector with a on it. Now it's flooding everything around like that.
Wow, so we're both having iffy days.
I'm not going to let it like that, though.
No, this didn't. I was like, well, at least I'll be able to have a nice exercise. It's the way it goes with boats, man, though. There's always something. But hopefully this little engine is probably easy to fix.
Yeah.
It's a old Mercury Mariner.
All day, caught several trout. One keeper today. That's all I've got so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
And sometimes when they're right at the limit, I don't even want to keep them because I'd rather them get bigger, you know? I hooked into a red once like 3 weeks ago, and it broke my line. I didn't get it, but I knew it was a big one. I could tell it was like rolling on the water or whatever. It was like its tail came up, and I was like, oh man, he's huge. Having the bottom of the ship to the ballast stone, and there's a stone platform, and then there's 3 million gold underneath the stone platform. And I was reading like really old news articles where someone interviewed a guy in like 1920, and they told him that story. And then my dad, about 10 years ago, says there's ballast stone all over there on the edge, just piled up in piles. And then there's supposedly 4 wrecks just right out here on this side, and like maybe one on the other. He said, I don't mind rowing at 50. Nice. Man, dude, this is great. That's good enough, buddy. You getting a little closer, that works too. We're all set, dude. Thanks, Zach. Nice to meet you. Have a good day. I figured out what happened. There's a little pin that goes right in here, and the pin actually sheared off, and the pin slides in this little hole right here, so that it doesn't free spin. I just got to replace that pin, so at least there's no major issue, and maybe I can figure something out here on the water. If not, I'll have to get to the hardware store. Well, that was a pretty uneventful and eventful day. I got to the island, didn't find much of anything but trails and wasps that stung in the neck. I don't know if there's a mark here, but there's one there. I lost my Oakley sunglasses, and my prop stopped working on my dinghy. So I got towed back by Zach. He's a very nice guy. It's nice to see people that are helpful, because I would have to row back about a mile from out way over there. It was not going to be fun, so maybe I'll find some pirate treasure next time. Peace out.